Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is VitruvianPhysique. Thank you for stopping by. So today I want to do a very quick, hopefully quick, as we all know with my channel that's a little bit difficult, but we're going to give it our best shot. I want to talk about a comment that I got on my channel, one of my previous videos here. So what this was is someone commented saying that, like, hey man, like, you did your whole full day of eating, but in that video I didn't just talk about what I ate the entire day. I also talked about pretty much every single piece of food or anything at all that went in my mouth, including supplementation. Now the individual commented saying that, like, hey man, like, this is great and all, but it's kind of problematic because, there are a lot of people who may not have access to these supplements. Maybe they're in a different country where they don't have, simply don't have access to these things. Maybe, they can't afford it and price-wise. We're trying to, I don't want to, boost myself up or anything, but, on these fitness channels, lots of times individuals are watching because they want to eventually, perhaps, look like that individual or look something like that individual they're taking advice, whether it be for fat loss, muscle gain. So the problem is, if I want to look like you or, anybody in the fitness industry, because their physique's way better than mine. But if I'm trying to look like you and you're doing things which I physically can't do, if you're eating food, chances are I can probably eat the same food, right? Milk is milk, rice is rice, chicken is chicken. If you're training, chances are as long as I have access to a gym, I could do the same things as you. It gets a little sketch when it comes to things like supplementation because it is not universal in all countries and prices and all these different things. So there are two problems with this way of thinking right away. So number one is the notion that my physique in any way, shape, or form, even like 1%, is directly correlated to supplement use. And let me stop you guys right there. If any of you guys, think that way, how do I put this nicely? That's bullshit. Guys, I've been training for like, 10 to 11 years, and I can honestly say beyond a shadow of a doubt that, although supplements help from a convenience standpoint, they make this whole journey a little bit easier, especially from the nutritional side. They do not provide, on a physiological, biochemical level, they do not provide anything that you could not otherwise get, from a basic diet. Pretty much, they're just easier ways of getting things you can naturally get from the grocery store. In some ways, they're a little bit easier, a little bit quicker, a little bit more convenient, and, in many cases, they are in fact less expensive. But nothing in my body, 100%, is attributable directly to supplementation. Anybody on the face of the earth, as long as I have access to a basic grocery store and a basic gym, can theoretically build a physique. Maybe not exactly like mine because of, genetic differences, but, relatively similar. Guys, in my opinion, nutrition is the most important thing you can do, whether it be building muscle, losing body fat, recomposition, doing both simultaneously, whatever it is you may do, nutrition is, in my opinion, 50-60% of the equation. After that, coming in a close second is training, which is obviously very important. Then you have like, all your other stuff, sleep, hydration, recovery. Genetics is this thing that overlooks everything, let's be honest. And then finally, at the very end, like less than 1% in significance, like a tiny, tiny fraction, is supplementation. And if any of you guys get a different idea based on my videos and what I project, I apologize, that is not the case. Do I use them? Absolutely. Do I, recommend them to my clients or, people who watch my channel? If you can afford it and you want the convenience factor, 100% yes. But are they necessary? No. That's why they're called supplements. They're not called requirements. And so I thought I would talk about this video and go over every supplement that I use, why I use it, which ones are very helpful, and which ones, let's be honest, are 100% optional. Alright guys, before we begin, also for full disclosure purposes, I do want to mention that I am actually sponsored by a supplement company. I am with Pea Protein, but throughout the course of this video, we're going to be talking about supplements, not specifically which company to go with. Now, do I like Pea Protein? Yes. Do I recommend them? Absolutely. And do I recommend you use my discount code down in the link below, otherwise known as VIT20 for the Canadian and USA websites, and VIT10 for their UK website? Yeah, I do. But, you can go and use any supplement company you want. We're talking about general supplements here. A lot of the stuff is actually based on just the molecular structure. We're talking about an item here, not a specific product. There's certain supplements out there which, it's like, you have to use our patented special formula. No, creatine is a very basic, compound. It's like, I forget the molecular formula, but it's like C, carbon, hydrogen, something. I'll put it up here once I can, Google it. But at the end of the day, as long as you get, something basic like creatine monohydrate, doesn't matter, which company you get it from, which is why I like Pea Protein, because if it's all, relatively the same, then just go with the cheapest, which Pea Protein seems to be. That's why I used to buy their stuff before I went with them, before they knew who I was and before they sponsored me, because, I was a broke, student coming out of college, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of money on, stuff like this. Number one, creatine. Guys, we're gonna do this video in order of decreasing significance, which means that, we're gonna start off with the stuff that I do recommend. If you are going to do supplements, again, entirely optional. If you have enough money for one or two supplements, the stuff in the beginning of this video, such as creatine, this is the stuff that I would recommend buying, and then as we go, further down the video, we're going to get to stuff which is more and more optional. And the final few supplements we're going to talk about are not only optional, but for a lot of individuals, based on their specific circumstances, may be completely useless. All right, creatine, I've talked about this in my video before, Creatine 101. It is a helpful supplement. It is the one supplement which, it may be difficult to get from, nutrition, right? Protein, you can just go eat food. Right, BCAAs, like protein, again, you can just go eat food. Creatine is actually naturally found in certain meats, for example, fish, beef, chicken, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to get the adequate amount of creatine you would need. For example, if you were to consume creatine as a supplement, you would need about 3 grams per day. A standard scoop of creatine is usually about 5 grams, so you're getting more than enough. And it's kind of difficult to get this through a natural diet. You have to eat a lot of chicken, fish, and beef. And this is especially difficult for people women who may not eat as much meat, or vegans or vegetarians. It becomes a little bit problematic, or just general individuals. Creatine is a scientifically 100% proven supplement. It is one of the rare supplements out there which has a lot of 100% consistent science behind it. It helps with endurance a little bit. You're training, you get 8 reps, start creatine supplementation, and maybe on the same weight you might be able to get 9, 10 reps in a few weeks. It has a little bit of lean body mass gain, but that's not through muscle gain. That is through simply water retention. Creatine retains water in your muscles, so don't worry, you're not going to get bloated, you're not going to get fat. And I take a scoop of this every day. Doesn't matter when you take it, it's not a pre-workout supplement. It has to saturate your muscles, which actually takes weeks. And then once you do, you just keep up the saturation, keep up the concentration, and that can be done, a scoop with your protein shake, 2 birds with 1 stone, a scoop before bed, a scoop at night. I don't care when you take it, but it does help. Next up, protein. This is probably the thing that I do take the most. Creatine, I get an order, and I'll have it for a bag will last me 4, 5, 6 months. This stuff I do get on a relatively regular basis because depending on what time of the year, I may be taking as much as 1 to 2 scoops every single day. So you can take whatever kind you want. Whey, casein, soy, rice. Pea protein is especially popular amongst vegans or people who may have issues with their skin. Like a dairy-based supplements, for example, whey and casein might cause some people to break out. So for the vegans or the people with skin issues, maybe they want to stay away from dairy or lactose-based protein supplements. This one is 100% convenience and cost-based. It's convenient because, some of us don't want to sit there and eat chicken breast, right? If you actually look at 2 scoops of this stuff, mix it with water, you can down it in 5 seconds, versus chicken breast, you have to sit there and eat like 2 medium-sized chicken breasts to get 50 or 60 grams of protein. It's just a hassle. Sometimes you want something on the go, sometimes you want it in a shake, sometimes you want to cook with it, which is awesome for casein protein. And also cost-based. If you actually look at a protein grams per dollar basis, there's no food on the entire face of the earth which is cheaper than basic protein supplements. What kind, doesn't matter, just protein supplements in general. That is why I recommend them, purely for price and convenience standpoint. Okay, next up, pre-workouts. Now, pre-workouts are a tricky one because they're, theoretically they are optional. You can go to the gym. You do not need something to wake you up and pump you up, but not all of us are, blessed with having the ability to work out, when we're perfect on, full sleep in the middle of the day. Lots of times, there are individuals who sleep 5, 6, hours a night, and then they have to go to work all day, and then it's 6 p.m., and then, they may not feel as up and ready to go as they want, so a pre-workout supplement can definitely help, get you in that mentality, whether it be through energy, or just, that concentrated tunnel vision that sometimes you get on a pre-workout supplement. Yeah, that's why. Now, what I have been doing, somewhat recently actually, is instead of getting the pre-made pre-workout supplements, which are fine, and they work, some of them work very well. I know My Protein does have one in the UK, it's called My Pre. I've never tried it because they don't have it at the USA website, which is where I actually get my stuff from. But what I've been doing, which is a nice cheap alternative, especially for you guys out there who are a little bit cost conscientious, is actually making my own pre-workout supplement. So I just take water, and then I put some Mio flavoring in there just to make it taste nice and pretty. And then I take some of the main ingredients which I find, I get out of actual pre-workout supplements. Guys, you have to understand that these things, you could theoretically buy the raw ingredients independently, individually, put it together, and it may cost a lot less. For example, beta-alanine, one of the ingredients I use, I got months supply of this for $8. You don't have to get the pre-made thing. Lots of times they just take all these these ingredients, put them together, and then charge you twice as much as it originally cost because they give it a pretty package and pretty colors. you don't really need that. That's another reason why I like my protein, because it's so plain, right? Here's like a bag, right? You just take it, you use it. I don't want to pay like $3, $4, $5 extra for some pretty coloring and packaging. I really don't care. This stuff I'm just like, downing before I go to the gym. I don't need to look that pretty. Then I take a caffeine pill. Now, you can take coffee, you can take a standard pre-workout supplement, which will have usually about 200 milligrams-ish of caffeine in it. Or like I said, you can take a caffeine pill. It's all the same thing. I just like combining them together. Another supplement which I have been interested in purchasing is a Citrulline Malate. This is one that was kind of controversial in the past, but recently it has been, recommended by a lot of, top individuals in the industry, such as I believe it was Eric Helms. I have tried it a couple times, and like I do get a little bit of a more like a pump feeling than had I not taken it. So I definitely want to start including that in my pre-workout stack for the future. But again, pre-workouts entirely optional. Do I recommend them? Probably yeah. If I were to have 3 supplements which I recommend to all individuals, optional supplements: creatine, protein supplements, and a little bit more optional, but still, why not? Why not have a great workout, pre-workout? So either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I apologize if this video went very long. I don't think it's too long. I hope it's not long. But I just wanted to, show you guys that supplements, can they help? Sure. Do I recommend a couple of them? Absolutely, but none. No supplement on the face of the earth will give you something that, you cannot already do, essentially for biochemically from just regular food, exercise. And at the end of the day, it's like less than 1% of the equation. Any of you guys out there who think that I can achieve so-and-so's physique because he uses the stuff that I can't have access to, I'll be honest, that's just a fucking excuse.